What's up, y'all? Welcome to Saved by the Code. Welcome back to Saved by the Code, where I discuss financial technologies rooted in computer code with the potential to liberate humanity from the fiat money regime. My name's Perry, and let's go. Just wanted to start this episode out showing you a news outlet that I believe is just a very good source of truth. They're just extremely unbiased and just provide very good information. That's called the Babylon Bee. I'll put a link down below. Really great source of truth and serious information. This article's headline is Bloodshot-eyed, grinning Elon Musk says 420 was awesome, and also, has anybody seen his rocket? Yeah, apparently Elon was baked out of his mind on 420, but he couldn't find the rocket. So it says here, apparently he was enjoying 420 festivities. We thought he was there to observe the launch, said engineer John Insprucker. But he disappeared into another room. I didn't see him again until this morning. He seemed really chill, though, just red-eyed and really hungry for some reason. Apparently, here's a quote from Elon. Musk answered when asked for comment about his critics. Trial and error is part of success. I just wish I knew where my rocket went. It's 390 feet tall, so it's difficult to misplace. Does anyone here have any Cheetos by any chance? So apparently Elon had a great 420. These are just example articles from the Babylon Bee, just a really great source of truth and unbiased information, really important stuff here. This is a great article I came across, released yesterday, or 2 days ago. Revised hospital pain charts has patients rate pain on scale from 0 to watching The View is a 10 on the pain scale. And this is displayed on hospitals all throughout the United States now. It's required to be displayed in all doctors' offices. It says here, the American Medical Association has officially added the View to its pain scale to help patients better understand what is meant by the term worst pain possible. It says here, a quote from a trauma patient says, in that case, I guess my pain is a 9 whose femur was currently lodged in his own spleen. He was a pain scale, a 9. He wasn't quite at 10 of watching The View. So, I just wanted to show you some example articles here from the Babylon Bee. This one's about crypto. It was released on April 14th. The headline is, crypto is a scam. Oh, but there's an update. We were wrong. Everybody buy crypto. Oh, oops, crypto is a scam. Oh, wait, well, maybe not. It's not a scam now. So throughout this article, they just discuss whether or not they believe crypto, or if, public, or they believe crypto is a scam. And apparently throughout this article, this changes many times. In the end, it looks like they came to the conclusion that crypto is not a scam, but throughout the article it says okay, so beware, it's totally a scam, don't invest in crypto. But then it says, wait a minute, it turns out crypto is not a scam. Yeah, it looks okay now, crypto is good. Oh, and then it says, never mind, looks like it was a scam. Hold on, crypto is bad, stay away. But then the last paragraph here says that Publishing Time new analysis indicated that crypto is not a scam and should be viewed to the future of currency. So as of the time of publishing, crypto is not a scam. That may have changed from when this was written on April 14th to now, April 24th. So I'm going to follow this story very closely and keep y'all updated on whether or not crypto is a scam. But as of right now, it is, according to this article from one of the greatest sources of truth, Babylon Bee, crypto is not a scam. So we can all rest assured that it's not for now. It might be next week, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to follow this story very closely. And yeah, so Babylon Bee, really great source of truth. The Oakland A's here were forced to move after another homeless camp popped up on first baseline. Oh gosh. All right. Enough from the Babylon Bee. Check it out. Good stuff. All right, let's get into the the real news. Air quotes. Oh gosh. The clown show just continues and continues. It never stops. Here's another incredibly intellectually dishonest, incompetently written article from someone about just absolutely bashing Bitcoin, referencing the New York Times article that just came out, absolutely bashing Bitcoin in the most intellectually dishonest, hypocritical way possible. I have zero respect for any of these people who all they say is that Bitcoin mining uses all this energy, no mention of its utility, no mention of banks, no mention of all of that stuff. And, the facts are just this. Bitcoin mining uses 0.2% of the world's total energy consumption. So, if Bitcoin mining were to stop tomorrow, it would have literally a negligible effect on energy use and carbon emissions and all that. By the way, Bitcoin mining itself does not emit any emissions. It's the source of the energy that does so. These mining machines aren't just pumping out smoke like the New York Times displays in their article. The front picture is like this hazy picture of a Bitcoin mine in Texas, when it's like never hazy in Texas, but they just happen to pick that picture and it's got these big stacks. It looks so ominous. And, the article was a total attack, a malicious attack on Bitcoin. Like I said, so incredibly intellectually dishonest. They're being paid, or they just have an agenda. They do. I mean, they're part of the fiat money regime. And they're an essential part to it, because this is all they have, is media, to pump out these stories. And I've seen a massive uptick in these stories recent times. What do you know? Do you think there's a correlation between the US dollar losing dominance and Bitcoin being the next thing in line to be the global reserve, neutral global reserve currency? And now they're pumping out all these articles? Funny. That's strange. But yeah, just another incredibly intellectually dishonest article coming from an extremely incompetent person who has no understanding of Bitcoin or energy grids whatsoever. And I'm not saying I'm an expert by any means in energy grids or anything. However, the facts of the matter is that Bitcoin mining is it fits the definition of a demand response electrical grid balancer perfectly. Like, there is no other operation like Bitcoin mining where you can immediately shut it down by the pull of the lever, and all of that energy is now available to the energy grid, which is essential in places like Texas. Here I have an article about coming from ERCOT, which is the Electric Reliability Council of Texas, which is the program where they pay energy operations to shut down in times where there is high demand for power during extreme weather conditions, or just when it's needed. When power is needed, Bitcoin miners have an agreement with ERCOT to shut down their operations, which can be shut down immediately, and all that energy is available instantly. There is no other thing like that. And it fits the bill perfectly for the definition of a demand response electrical grid balancer, if you will. And this report says that Texas Bitcoin mining facilities can curtail operations and relieve 1.7 gigawatts of energy this winter. This was written back in November 2022. And they say that Bitcoin mining is really great for the grid. And shows that it says ERCOT has published a study that shows Bitcoin mining operations are instrumental in direct response systems. The report's researchers studied the installed generation capacity, report indicates that Bitcoin mining operations are able to curtail 1.7 gigawatts of energy during the Texas winter. It says other systems that leverage large electrical loads are unable to adjust to direct response needs, but Bitcoin miners, on the other hand, are also known to shut down operations. So it's just like they're able to balance the grid better than anything else, Bitcoin mining, because of their ability to shut down and immediately shut down and provide all that energy instead of other operations, which it's slower for them to respond. And also, Bitcoin mining, you can shut it down and the network operates seamlessly still. That's because of its decentralized nature. And so, like, instead of shutting down, schools or hospitals or other electrically intensive operations, whatever, you just shut down the Bitcoin mines. And these places can still operate. This is the importance of balancing, energy grid balancing. And this is why Bitcoin miners have flocked to Texas, because of these incentives, because they are incentivized to shut off their machines, as well as the amount of cheaper power that's available and the benefits that it provides to the energy grid, which is not mentioned one time in this incredibly incompetent, intellectually dishonest article about how horrible Bitcoin mining is. He says they should literally tax carbon or send in the commandos to cut the wires to these Bitcoin mining operations. And he just loves the New York Times. This guy just worships them. I bet he has a shrine in his house with the New York Times just every day, just bowing down, because they're just such an incredible source of truth in this world. He literally says, send commando teams to the 34 large-scale Bitcoin mining sites in the U.S. Have them sever the facility's power cables. It's so ridiculous. This person is so incompetent. It is laughable. And like in my last video, I showed just the New York Times mentions that Bitcoin mining has caused increases in electricity bills, which is, there's no correlation there, because in other states where there is no Bitcoin mining, electricity bills have increased more. This is not caused by Bitcoin mining. It's caused by things like conflicts over there in the Eastern European region and inflation. So war and inflation, not Bitcoin mining. No mention of the utility Bitcoin provides and the good that it provides to humanity. No mention of bank energy use, gold mining, and, the typical crap that you get from these fiat money regime news article publishers. Because this is all they have at this point to try to take down Bitcoin is Bitcoin bad, Bitcoin use energy bad. And unfortunately, a lot of people will believe this because no one does any further research and just worships these news outlets for some reason. Here, this is just like an example. They didn't mention this one time. Iris Energy is a Bitcoin mining operation in Canada with a site under construction in Texas, and they operate on 100% renewable energy. 100%. They don't use any other source of energy. 100% sustainable, renewable Bitcoin mining. Not mentioned one time. One time by the New York Times. Do you think that was on purpose, or they just happened to miss that? It's one of the largest Bitcoin mining operations in the world, and they operate on 100% renewable energy, which just goes to show you that is a possibility. And that's the thing about Bitcoin mining too, is that it is propelling the renewable energy sector forward as well as balancing grids and providing humanity with an alternative store of value and currency when we live in one of the most insane, confusing times when it comes to money and all that stuff. So, none of that mentioned, how it provides people in countries that don't have money that works. I would love for this person to go show this article to them. We need to shut it down. Go sever the power cables. Go show that to people that have their savings decimated by terrible people in charge so that they are enriched and they don't care about anybody else. But you can't do that with Bitcoin. But this person doesn't probably doesn't even think of that because they're so incompetent. And no mention of how horrible banks are. It's just how terrible Bitcoin mining and all the energy that they use is, but no mention of how banks have ruined so many people's lives and use twice the amount of energy that Bitcoin does. No mention. Just another day in the good old world. But yeah, Iris Energy, really wild. This is actually real world stuff. Massive Bitcoin mining operation using 100% renewable energy. And so it is possible and it's happening, and these things take time. And we still need fossil fuels. Little person who wrote this article, sorry to say it, but we do. Your little Tesla that you drive isn't as economical, ecologically wonderful as you think. But these things are never mentioned. Bitcoin is the scourge of the earth. Nothing else. Nothing. Not game systems. Nothing. Bitcoin mining. Bad. Oh, the incompetency and intellectual dishonesty is just everywhere. This was great. Next article here. The World Economic Forum, I believe yesterday or today, posted this video about how data centers, aka Bitcoin mining centers, have the ability to curtail much of the wasted energy in this world in the one form of flare gas, which is literally just wasted energy just being burned into the atmosphere. Just poof, poof. And Bitcoin miners are capturing this, and they released a video on this. However, they just couldn't say the word Bitcoin. However, they show many times in the video Bitcoin miners, and the video is being played on the screen right now if you're not looking, but just great stuff here. Why is there no sound? Okay, there. And they literally show Bitcoin miners so many times throughout this video.
One of the key problems we're focused on emission reduction is called flaring. Flaring happens either in the oil field or in landfills, where you have this waste stream of gas that's associated with oil production, or happens from decomposition of landfill.
Yeah, so this happens all around the world. They literally burn it just into the atmosphere. Wasted energy. Goodbye. There's Bitcoin miners right there in the video, but they won't say Bitcoin mining because back in 2018, the World Economic Forum said Bitcoin mining bad, Bitcoin bad, Bitcoin use energy bad, but now they're flipping completely, probably because they can make money off of it, and because, like I said, Bitcoin mining is so unique in this regard for its ability to balance grids and the demand response and the want and need, because you're incentivized to capture cheap energy. And so when you capture this wasted energy that's being wasted anyways, if a large energy consumer comes in and buys that energy from these companies that are just burning it up, they'll sell it to them for pennies on the dollar because it's being wasted energy anyways. So look, there's Bitcoin miners right there.
Data centers.
Modular data centers, that's what they call. They won't say Bitcoin miners, and they show it right there in the video.
Co-locate on location with these waste sources of energy, and then we use those waste methane streams to power these mobile modular data centers.
Mobile modular data centers. You mean Bitcoin miners? Yeah,
so by
you
doing
do.
That, not only do we create a massive emission reduction from this previously wasted source of energy, but we can also produce
more Bitcoin miners in the video right there.
Computing infrastructure by harnessing
there they are again.
This otherwise stranded form of energy.
Yeah, no crap. There's another Bitcoin mine. Yep, no crap. Oh, there's more Bitcoin miners. So just hypocrisy once again, more in that video. They just cannot say Bitcoin mining, because if they said that, New York Times would be pretty mad at them, I'm sure. It's just inevitable that Bitcoin will be the world reserve currency. Bitcoin mining will be the way in which we capture wasted energy, push forward renewable energy sectors, and it's a huge positive for a greener future, if you will, because things like this that are happening in real life, the capturing of flare gas being burned into nothing, and Bitcoin miners come in, capture that energy, the energy companies are happy, they'll sell it to them for cheap because Bitcoin miners are constantly incentivized to get cheap sources of energy. And so they will inevitably move towards renewables and things like this. And so World Economic Forum, which was previously totally against Bitcoin mining, shows so many Bitcoin miners in the video, but they won't say it. It says here, the World Economic Forum showcased the facilities and tech employed by a cryptocurrency mining firm and implied its operations were the biggest winner for the environment. But it never actually said it was mining crypto. Oh. By the Colorado-based Bitcoin miner Crusoe Energy Systems. What appear presented, however, the video never directly addresses what is actually happening. They just won't say Bitcoin mining. Modular data centers. Please. Yeah. So this just happened, and it's pretty wild. They won't say the B word though. They just can't say it. They weren't allowed to mention Bitcoin because of the previous standpoint, which has included advocacy for changing Bitcoin's code to proof of stake. You have a complete lack of how Bitcoin works if you want Bitcoin to be changed from proof of work to proof of stake. Which, all that stuff, proof of work, proof of stake, is the way in which everybody in the network reaches consensus. And I've detailed that in a previous video. What is Bitcoin? You can check it out. It goes much more into detail of proof of work and why Bitcoin works the way that it does. And so, yeah, this is pretty wild how that was just released by the World Economic Forum, who, like many others, have flip-flopped on Bitcoin. Bitcoin bad, Bitcoin use energy bad. Oh, now apparently it's good, but they just can't explicitly say it because, you know, that's how it goes. All right. Let's move on to the next story I got for ya here. Yeah, so eToro, a large investing platform, one of the biggest, I believe, has partnered with Twitter to bring Bitcoin investing to the platform. So apparently, yeah, you can invest with eToro through Twitter. Massive exposure for Bitcoin. Bitcoin was ranked in the top 5 most searched for cash tags. Cash tags are apparently a new thing where you put a $sign in front and you can put, you know, cash tag, you know, $sign BTC, and then you can like invest in Bitcoin in that way. So massive exposure. It's just, these things are happening every day. The integration of Bitcoin into our world is happening more and more and more. And before you know it, it's literally going to be everywhere. And it already is in a lot of places. It's just you can buy so many things with Bitcoin. Overstock.com, you can buy everything. There's a real estate broker that just launched like 3 days ago in Texas where you can buy properties in Bitcoin. There's some travel sites where you can buy plane tickets. Like, you can buy a lot of stuff with Bitcoin. And even El Salvador, literally it's legal tender there. You must accept it if you're a business and you can spend Bitcoin. Like, it's happening all the time. And, you know, with the recent US dollar losing dominance and everything, it's an inevitability. The neutralization of money, the separation of money from state is happening right before our eyes. Yeah, so this integration of eToro with Twitter, which just recently happened, is huge exposure for Bitcoin. Let's see here. What's it say? There's something here I wanted to read. Twitter's a place. Yeah. So it's just a massive exposure for Bitcoin through Twitter. And I'm sure Elon had something to do with that. Tesla still holds a lot of its Bitcoin, by the way. which they bought $1.5 billion worth of in 2021. That was wild. All right, next story here. There are some really cool decentralized Twitter alternatives that have been popping up. One's called Blue Sky, the other Nostr, which I've been posting to more than Twitter. I honestly don't really like Twitter. It's kind of like a cesspool of nonsense, bots and nonsense. It's just saturated at this point. And so Nostr, Nostr, is pretty cool. I've been checking it out, and it's like a decentralized Twitter where instead of there being a centralized data center like Twitter or Facebook, people run relays, and you can run one yourself, or you can use their relay to get the information. You can trust their relay essentially, or you can run your own and trust yourself. And there's paid ones, there's free ones, and it's really gaining a lot of traction. And I joined it also because it's not as saturated, and there's just a lot. You can get noticed much easier on there. Twitter is just too saturated, in my opinion. Yeah, so I would recommend checking it out on iOS. If you have an iPhone, you can search in the App Store. It's called Damus, Damus, and on Android it's called something else, but they're like these different apps that you have to use to access it. It's not just like one app because of its decentralized nature. Its ecosystem is somewhat difficult. It's not difficult to join. It's so easy. Literally, it's because public and private key cryptography, everybody's all scared of that. You just save it. It's a long string of numbers and letters. It looks scary, but it's okay. It's so easy to sign up for. And on the Nostr platform, there's already Lightning Network Bitcoin payments integrated, and they're called zaps. You can like zap people. You can send them like a cent or 2 cents over the Bitcoin Lightning Network, which is really cool. You just press a button and zap it, zaps them a cent or 2 in Bitcoin on the Lightning Network, which is, I've said many times, is the layer 2 scaling solution for Bitcoin. It'll make it quicker, cheaper, faster, as opposed to changing the base layer of Bitcoin itself. They leave that alone. They just build a second layer to scale it. That's what the Lightning Network is, and that is integrated into Nostr right now, being used in real time. You can zap people Bitcoin with the Lightning Network, which is super cool. So yeah, I think these are going to keep popping up, these decentralized social media protocols, which is so important in these times where censorship is rampant, and we need decentralization is just the solution to all this. How do you shut down a network with no office? You can't shut it down. That's why you can't shut down Bitcoin. You can't make a complaint to the Bitcoin office. The CEO of Bitcoin has announced today, it's just a joke to say that at this point. And the technology's here now. We have the ability to create these decentralized networks that these governments can't shut down. It's a beautiful thing. And this is exactly what Nostr and Blue Sky are. They are decentralized social media protocols that can't be shut down. You can't be censored. I don't know what they do about really, there's always going to be that crap, those horrible scum people that post terrible things. I don't know what's going to happen there, but, it's important that we have these platforms. So yeah, Nostr, Blue Sky, check them out. Damus on iOS, on iPhone. I'll put a link in the description below. You can check it out. Pretty cool stuff. Been posting there quite a bit. So Nostr uses what's called relays. Relays are like backend servers for Nostr. They allow Nostr clients to send the messages and may or may not store these messages and broadcast those messages to all other connected clients. So you connect to these relays and they tell you what's being posted, all that stuff. So you're trusting them. So if you don't want to trust them, you can run your own relay. It takes, computer storage, bandwidth, all that stuff. So there are paid ones, there are free ones. So it's just kind of this really new thing that's popping up, these new social media platforms that are based on these relays that people run instead of these centralized servers that can censor and be shut down and all that stuff. So Nostr, yeah, I'll put a link down below. Next story here. Rich dad Robert Kiyosaki loves Bitcoin. He thinks it's going to 100K. Yes, it is. It's inevitable that it will. He recently, in a recent tweet on April 20th, 420, happy holidays, by the way, Kiyosaki expressed his appreciation for Bitcoin and cited its independence from governments and financial organizations, one of the primary reasons for his positive perspective. Yeah, he likes Bitcoin a lot. And he said he watched it climb to 20K, then drop to 0. It didn't go to 0, it went to 3,000, but he thought it was finished. He slowly watched it climb back to 6,000. He bought a lot. Yeah, so he's a big believer in it now. After watching it crash from 20K to 3,000 and back to 60 bought. And, yeah, it's just, this keeps happening. Keeps happening where people that were previously skeptical at Bitcoin and all that stuff flip and they are forced to buy it because you need to have it. Like, not having Bitcoin is a risk. I just don't understand why you wouldn't put like a quarter, half. You make your own investment decisions. This is not investment advice whatsoever. Nothing on this channel is, but just have like 0.5%. It's so easy to do. It's so much easier to do than buying gold. It really is. For some reason in people's heads, they think Bitcoin's so complicated. Oh, buying gold's complicated. And like, another thing with gold that people don't think about is verifying that it's authentic gold. Like, it's possible that you can buy a gold bar that's coated in real gold and the center is just lead or just something else, or it's a mixture of different metals that's not 100% gold. Happens all the time. Bitcoin is instantly verifiable. You can't get half. If you buy one Bitcoin, some of it's not going to be fake Bitcoin. Like, it's just not possible. It's not how it works. So the verifiability and the auditability of Bitcoin is a massive value proposition that a lot of people don't think about, and don't think about when they're buying gold either. They just trust that it's real. And no one's going to go through the process of verifying it. They'll just buy it and think it's real. What if it's not? Total possibility. Another article, Kiyosaki doubles down on Bitcoin. It says some people think gold could really go down a lot to $1,000. Apparently because of technical analysis is pointing to gold possibly dropping a lot. I mean, I see it's good. Gold is great. I'm an advocate of gold. Bitcoin is better than gold, but it's a good diversifier. Silver, gold, Bitcoin. That's what Kiyosaki says here in a tweet. Those are the real money. Cash is trash. Yeah, that's factual. Yeah. So if gold crashes, probably be a great time to buy it. Honestly, if it goes to $1,000, heck yeah. Let's see here. This guy, Peter Schiff, he's a gold bug. Warns death blow coming for U.S. dollar. U.S. dollar to lose reserve currency status. I think the current financial crisis, which just started, is going to ultimately deliver the death blow to that status. It's probably going to result in an even more aggressive and reckless monetary and fiscal policy, and this time it's going to take the dollar's reserve status down with it. We've just been hearing this stuff for so long, and it's like, when's it going to happen? Can it just crash? Can everything just blow up and crash so we can just get on with making things better? Like, I remember hearing back in like 2012, the stock, everything's going to crash. Everything's going to, oh gosh, blah. Where's this crazy crash? Like, can it just happen, please? Like, I don't want it to happen, but it's just like, just happen so everything can get better. So yeah, you just see this everywhere. US dollar going down. And it is a little different and crazy now because like literally large countries like China, Russia, Brazil, BRICS is what it's called. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South of Africa are banding together and agreeing not to use the US dollar in trade. That's huge. That's really bad. Because that before they had to use it and now they're not. They're just banding together and going like, screw you, we're not using the US dollar anymore. Y'all are a joke over there. And that's the sad thing is what's happening now is the United States is, it's so embarrassing within the past couple of years because of certain people have gotten in power somehow, some way. Not going to comment on any of that or anything, but, it's just embarrassing. And why would you want the US dollar, honestly? Like, I don't blame them whatsoever. It is, like, the value of the US dollar came from faith in the United States. And that faith has been lost in so many regards. This country isn't close to what it used to be. We'll see what happens next year. If a certain individual gets in or not. Not going to go any further on that. This is not a political channel. Last story here. This is pretty interesting. Satoshi Nakamoto, the elusive creator of Bitcoin. The last emails reveal the Bitcoin creator's thoughts before disappearing over a decade ago. So, whatever group, he, she, group, whatever, non-binary, however you want to say it. Satoshi Nakamoto is this unknown figure that created Bitcoin and then just disappeared. And it's quite a mind-blowing, fascinating story. The original Bitcoin that was mined by this elusive person still hasn't been touched since. There's like billions of dollars in Bitcoin, apparently, that was originally mined by Satoshi Nakamoto that has not been touched. So they're either dead, or I find it hard to believe that they are that good of a person to where they would just walk away and not touch all that Bitcoin and sell it off or whatever, or live this lavish life. No one knows who they are. And people have come out trying to say that they're Satoshi Nakamoto, this guy named Craig Wright. I'm Satoshi, I created Bitcoin. No one believed him. They're like, what are you talking about? No one knows who you are. Go home, you're drunk, you know? But yeah, just disappeared back in 2011. Unspendable state for rolling time window. Apparently they moved on to other things, that the project was in good hands with other people. This is the inventor of Bitcoin themselves. Handed it off to the community, and it's been like that ever since. And no one knows where this elusive person was. But apparently in 2014, there was this big news story. They found this guy named Dorian Nakamoto. He was like Japanese looking, and everybody thought he's created. And this guy was like, I didn't create Bitcoin. I just came. He kept saying in the interview, I just want my free lunch. He's this little Asian guy. And these people are like, this media is just attacking him, literally like invading his privacy. Like, you created Bitcoin. He's like, I didn't create Bitcoin. His name just happened to be Nakamoto, his last name, and he's this Japanese guy. And so the media attacked him. They're like, they bought food for him, and he was like, I'm just here for free food. I did not create Bitcoin. And apparently a message came out that said, I am not Dorian Nakamoto from Satoshi, the creator of Bitcoin. That was the last message that's ever been seen. So he was obviously paying attention to this news story unfolding and was like, that's not me. And he put out this message on a forum that was signed cryptographically, stating that he wasn't Dorian Nakamoto. So no one knows who created Bitcoin. It's so wild. This thing just poofed out of nothing. And there's so many theories out there. It's wild. Some people think the NSA created Bitcoin. You know, who knows? There's just, it's like out of a movie. Like this wild, decentralized, radical way of storing value. And it works very well. It really does. It's an incredible system. And there's just no one knows who made it, though. It's wild. And the fact that they haven't taken their riches or touched that original Bitcoin either, that's crazy. Like, it literally hasn't been touched. There's like I think it's like close to 1 million Bitcoin from the early days of the creator that was mining it. Just hasn't been touched. Really crazy stuff. Maybe they lost the keys. Maybe they're dead. Who knows? But the creator of Bitcoin is still unknown. All right, folks. That does it for this video. The market is it's going sideways. Looking at daily price action is just pointless. I'm not even going to do this anymore, honestly. I'm not even going to say prices because it's just pointless. It is. It's about the long term. You just zoom out. That's all you got to do, and your fears are alleviated. I mean, it's pretty incredible that the new low is 16,000. Right now we're sitting at around 30,000, and this is a low price. Like, it's wild. It's just inevitable. It really is. These things take time. They do. And the fundamentals haven't changed whatsoever. They've actually strengthened. The Bitcoin network itself is as strong as ever. The mining is massive, which is an indicator for Bitcoin network's health. It's as big as it's ever been. There's more mining than has ever been occurring, and I love it because it's happening in the face of these absurdly intellectually dishonest articles about how much all the energy is crap. Just lies and intellectual dishonesty and incompetence. Pushing forward the fiat money regime. Their fiat money regime soldiers are these article writers about bashing Bitcoin. So that does it for today's video. Hope y'all are doing just dandy out there. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll put a link down below for Noster. Check it out. It's pretty cool. Decentralized Twitter, which is gaining traction. There's more and more users. It's not saturated. Twitter's just kind of annoying. I'll be completely honest with you. So I really don't even post there much. Truth is pretty cool. Truth Social. I might just post on Truth and Noster, not Twitter. But may as well post on Twitter. I don't know. Alright, does it for this video. Thank you for listening. And until next time, I bid you farewell on your cryptocurrency journey.